Hey there everybody, my name is Keno and welcome back to your Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series here on the channel. Now you're going to tell right off the bat I sound different. I'm sick. I'm still sick. I've been sick for exactly 7, maybe 8 days, but I think it's exactly 7 days now, a full damn week, and it's been rough. And it got really rough throughout the actual midweek, and then with trying to get some actual like real life work in, like at my job, I wasn't able to record, and I'm sorry, but we're back. We're recording, and I wanted to bring back the fan favorite series, the Montreal Canadiens series, because you guys love this one. You guys love this one, and we are back, and you know what? We're on a very important precipice of history with this Montreal Canadiens team. As you can see, I did sim all the way to the draft, as I said I would do at the end of the last video. I did make some contract negotiations with a few players, got a few players locked up, and as you can see, for us, lovely Montreal Canadiens fans, the Toronto Maple Leafs have won the Stanley Cup. And I feel like I've been doing a bit of a disservice to anybody who likes to keep up with stats as the franchise modes go on. But as you can see, out of the last 5 Stanley Cup champions since the sim has started, 4 of them are Canadian teams, with the Oilers taking home 3. They are a dynasty. I've taken a look at their roster. They're definitely starting to fall off now, but now the Maple Leafs are creeping up. I expect to be the team to usurp them. I expect to be the next Canadian team to win a Stanley Cup. I do expect it, but we have to also admit that there's some big issues with our roster currently. Now, before I get into that, I wanted to take a look at our trophy winners. We, as Montreal Canadiens, I don't think we have any. The Art Ross goes to Nikita Kucherov for the 2nd year in a row. The Hart Memorial goes to Cale Makar, who was unstoppable this season. The Norris goes to Makar for the 2nd time in a row and 3rd time in 4 years. The Lady Byng goes back-to-back to Nikita Kucherov. The Calder Memorial Trophy goes to Noah Kosick. Conn Smythe goes to Mitch Marner after going to Leon Draisaitl for 3 or 4 years before that, so he's unstoppable in the playoffs. Oh my god, this one hurts a lot. This one hurts so much. I had the eye. I said, hey, I think we need to sign Pyotr Kochetkov.
Did fairly well. 6 shutouts this most recent season. Yeah, he can be a dynamo, and I would love to bring him in, honestly. I kind of really want him on the team because we haven't seen what this team can do with stable goaltending.
I think he's the guy we need. And look at that. Look at that. He was the guy we needed. But guess who got him? Not us, no. Instead, the Stanley Cup winners, the Toronto Maple Leafs, got him. Ah, that's just so good to see. That's so good. You love to see it. You love to see a good old Canadian goaltender, or not Canadian like good old Canadian team goaltender winning a Vezina trophy. You love it. I think that's like one of the first Vezina winners since like Johnny Bower for the Toronto Maple Leafs, so like historic, great to see it. The William M. Jennings goes to Philip Gustafson. Masterson goes to Monroe with the Seattle Kraken. The Jack Adams trophy goes to the Washington Capitals coach B. Robbins. Selke goes to an aging Sidney Crosby, and I will let you guys know that there were quite a few retirements like Brent Burns. Ovechkin has called it quits as well. There are quite a few big names. I just wanted to sim through all that stuff. I wanted to leave all that out so I could give you guys the big picture of this video and give you a bit of a more condensed video where I get to the points much quicker. Lindsay goes to Cale Makar. Maurice Richard goes back-to-back to Nikita Kucherov because he's just been insane in all of my franchise mode series so far. And that wraps up all the trophy winners so far. As you can see, since the franchise mode started, it's been Kucherov and Makar as the main names. They've taken home a lot of hardware, honestly, and obviously some Russian goalies, with 4 Russian goalies winning the Vezina over the last 5 years. So insane. And now let's get to the changes that I have made and plan to make. So at the end of the last episode, I had said that our window might be constricting a little bit because we have limited cap space to make moves with, especially after the Noah Dobson trade, which I don't know whether to call this a win or a loss. It's only been a short sample size, but he only had 9 points in 20 games with a -9, and then if you look at his playoff performance, no points through 5 games and a -5. He was really rough for us. I have some ideas on what I want to do for next season because I'm not too keen on flipping him. The thought has crossed my mind to try and flip him again and see what assets we can recoup, especially since we are tight against the cap. But it all depends on what is available, really. The changes I did make: Sean Farrell did not get a new contract. He is asking for a lot on a very short term, and right now I can't afford it. I will be qualifying him, but I can't afford him right now. I did get Quentin Musty extended, and for a pretty good contract too. He's expiring off his ELC, and he's going into a 3-year, $3.35 million deal, which, keep that in mind, it's a 3-year deal, okay? I did not get Jan Mizak extended. He's looking for a lot. But I also got Seth Shelley extended. He was looking for not too much money over short term, so I gave him 3 years as well at $3.95 million. Very, very good contract, honestly. I've just offered Ryan Johnson a contract. He has jumped up to an 84 overall. He doesn't want to re-sign with us, which is a bummer. But if we look at his individual attributes, man, they're good. They're really good. So if we can get him signed, he will be a top 4 defender for us, no problem. Okay, Caden Gooley, as you can see, has dropped from an 86 to an 85. He is making $6.5 million, and that is a really big concern. But let's keep going here. I didn't really offer too many other contracts out. I gave Harvey Pinard a new contract. I didn't get Almgren extended, but I did get Harvey Pinard and I believe Nate Smith extended, and one other big name. I did lock up Lucas Dostal. He was stellar for us. Him and Dag were unbelievable in the later half of that season, and Dostal, he didn't want to re-sign with us, but he ended up signing 5 years, and not only did he re-sign for 5 years, he re-signed at almost $1 million cheaper than he was looking for. He was looking for about $6.5 million. I got him down to $5.65 million. Yes, if before you asked, I used the 85% trick. I did. Shoot me. I needed to sign this team up cheap, especially after the contracts of Pettersson and Hudson. But that brings us to the crux of this episode and what we're going to do next. We do not have a first round pick in this year's draft. We do not have even a high to mid round second round pick in this year's draft. We don't have a lot of high draft capital. We have a lot of draft picks, and we can make some depth picks, but I'd rather try to go for depth pieces with those picks. Try to flip them and go for the win now mode. And as I said, I already forgot, but as I said, I signed those 3 players. I signed Shelley and Musty to 3 years, okay? And that's for a reason. If we look at our expiring contracts, Caulfield, Reinbacher, Dobson, Doc, now Musty and Shelley, as well as Caden Gooley, all expire in the next 3 years. That is our new window. This franchise mode series will be going on a little longer. I've had some slight delays, especially with today being the trade deadline. As of recording, it is the NHL trade deadline. I don't want to start a new franchise mode series with outdated rosters. I want to wait until after all the trades are made today at 3 p.m. and then I will quickly go through, make all the flips as possible, and we might see one new franchise mode series starting either next week or the weekend after this one. But that's the plan for right now, is that we're going to extend this Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series by 3 years. We're going to give us another 3 years to win a Stanley Cup. And if we win it in the first year, that's great. We're going to go for 3. We're going to go for 3 straight Stanley Cups. Okay? I still need to win it 1. That's my big issue. We still need to actually win 1 before I even think about getting 3. But that's the plan for right now. Obviously, there are some other contracts expiring sooner than that 3-year window, such as Juraj Slafkovsky, Lane Hudson, and Nick Suzuki, 3 of our big players. But we'll deal with that when we get to that. There's no doubt that signing Pettersson and Hudson really hurt us. Helped us, but hurt us with how much they were asking for. But I think we can still get around it if we make the next few moves correctly. Dealing with this draft day, this upcoming free agency properly will help us pivot into contending status still, or help us maintain that contending status still. We didn't get to the President's Trophy this year. We lost out in the first round. Yes, we made some questionable moves at the deadline, whether it be moving on from Joshua Waugh or last year's offseason moving on from Alex Newhook, Arbor Jacki, and so on and such as, all those big pieces that were Montreal Canadiens mainstays. We did move on from them, but I still think this team can contend if we make the right moves right now. This is a big episode. It might be a bit of a marathon episode, so before we jump in to the nitty-gritty of it, before we get moving and start moving pieces out, moving pieces in, and making draft selections and all that, get some popcorn, get a drink, get comfy, okay? If you don't have a lot of time to watch right now, save this video. Save it to watch for later. Whatever you have to do. This is going to be possibly a big episode. I don't think it's going to get over an hour. Hopefully not. I mean, we'll have to see. But I plan to go deep on this team and try to get a big offseason completed. or at least the first half of a big offseason completed in this episode, because I am now red, white, and blue bleeding Montreal Canadiens absolute stan. Okay, this team needs to win. I don't care that the Leafs win. I could be a Leafs fan in real life. That doesn't matter. I am a Habs fan through and through, and we need to win with this team. Nick Suzuki deserves a cup. Cole Caulfield deserves a cup. Lane Hudson deserves a damn cup. Okay, they couldn't get one for Carey Price. We're going to get one in his honor. Okay, we're not even going to get one. We're going to get multiple, but it starts with the first one, and we're going to contend for it this coming season. It just depends on the moves we make right here. That's my big speech aside. Get your popcorn, get your drinks. I'm going to jump right in. And here we are at the 2028 NHL entry draft. We don't have a first round pick. We don't even have a high second round pick. I've said that earlier. It's Columbus, San Jose, Florida, Arizona, and Vegas rounding up the top 5 in this year's draft. And no, we are not targeting any of those top 5 picks. We don't need them. Plain and simple, okay? It'd be great to add an NHL ready prospect who we can milk the ELC out of, no problem, but we have 2 already. When it comes to our forwards, we already have our core returning, aside from possibly Sean Farrell, because I don't know if I can get him signed, but we also have the likes of Mason St. Louis coming up. He had 52 goals in 68 games, with 66 assists in 68 games as well, 118 points altogether with the Drummondville Voltigeurs. He's only 20 years old, and he's an 82 overall, and if we look at his individual attributes, that 99 offensive awareness, 91 defensive awareness, yes, okay, there's also some issues. He's not quite physical, he's pretty poor on the other defensive aspects, he doesn't really have a shot, and he's pretty poor skating, but that 99 offensive awareness could work well if we suit him up with somebody who can put the puck in the net, or somebody who can skate the puck up. I was originally thinking to put him on the wing of Pettersson and Slavkovsky. That's my idea for the coming season. We'll have to wait and see. We also have Christopher Ellison, who's only 18 years old. He had 40 goals in 67 games with the Kitchener Rangers, 64 assists for 104 points in 67 games. Absolute stud. He's 6'5", already listed as a 4th liner. He has very well-rounded stats. Very well-rounded. He's going to make an impact this coming season. That's 2 roster spots filled up, okay? That already gets us pretty tight. If we think about it as Shelley, Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Pettersson, and St. Louis, Musty with Ellison and Doc, and then maybe Harvey Pinard, Smith, and Yalanen on that 4th line, we already see that maybe we don't have a spot for Sean Farrell. I'm not sure. We also don't have a spot or the cap space necessarily for Jan Mysak. In fact, he's the newest Anaheim Duck, Jan Mysak, in real life. And Columbus makes their pick, an 83 overall power forward left wing in Quinton Vandermeer. Wow, 28 goals in 57 games. He looks like he was playing in the big leagues. Yeah, he was in the Liga. 55 points in 57 games is insane stats. He's okay. He's got a monster of a shot, an absolute burner of a shot, and he's pretty speedy. But he's got to still grow into the role at 83 overall. I don't understand how he's an 83 overall and doesn't have the greatest senses, defensive awareness, or defensive capabilities, or puck skills. But it's got to be that shot. It's got to be that shot in the skating category, honestly. Still a good pick for Columbus. I'm not going to focus too much on the top 5 because I have to focus on this team, okay? So you're not going to have me coming in and saying San Jose picks this, Florida picks this. I'm going to be looking for trades for my team because we're going to be making quite a few moves because I need cap space primarily, and I need depth pieces that are cheap and affordable and can come into the lineup and make big impacts. So let me take a look around. I don't have a first round pick, so I'm not really under a time crunch right now, and I will get back to you guys when I have some trades to announce. All right, and the first trade that I want to try out is Jan Mysak, Nathan Legare, a 3rd round pick in this year's draft and a 4th round pick in this year's draft because we have a plethora of them, to the Calgary Flames for defenseman Jan Kuznetsov, who is on an expiring contract, 83 overall, with an amazing defensive category and physical category with decent offensive awareness as well, who can play both sides of the ice. William Stromgren, who he's listed as a low elite, didn't have a lot of points last season, but he had a good plus-minus playing limited minutes. 92 offensive awareness, great skating category, a good defensive category, amazing physical category, and decent shot and puck skills. And he is also expiring contract, but we might be able to get him signed for cheap. I just want the negotiating rights for him. He looks really good. And then Jacob Pelletier, okay, he looks very good, very well-rounded. He's signed to this season and next at $2 million. I'm asking them to retain $500,000, which is why I'm throwing in the extra picks there. If we get this signed up, that's 3 really good pieces. If we get this trade good and we get them signed up affordably, that's 3 really good pieces for Jan Mysak, and I'm excited for this one. Let's see, will this go through? It's not. They don't want to retain that much. Okay. All right, San Jose made their pick, but I have restructured the trade a little bit. It's Jan Mysak, Trent Frederick, a 3rd and a 4th for Jan Kuznetsov, William Stromgren, and Jacob Pelletier still at half or 500,000 retained. Will this go through? That is perfect. That is perfect. Okay, they accepted that trade. That is the first big move of this episode. It doesn't seem like a big move, grabbing 3 kind of depth pieces for Jan Mysak, but we could not afford Jan Mysak, plain and simple. Calgary had the ability to afford him, so why not send him to a different conference, let alone a different division, and bolster up our team. But that's not it for me. I'm going to keep looking for different options. All right, and the next trade, in order to save some money for next season, will be Tristan Luneau, who just never really got into the lineup for us and wasn't really a big factor when he would, plus a 5th round pick in this year's draft to the Minnesota Wild for prospect Charlie Strommel, who's listed as a 4th line forward. He plays center, right wing. He's a big boy at 6'3", 223 pounds. And he's got really good stats. He may be slow, but his defensive category, his offensive awareness, and his physical category are all I'm looking at, and they look great. Plus, he's still on an expiring ELC, so he may be very affordable for us to get signed at least to 1 or 2 years in an extension and give us a bit of a window here. So Luneau and a 5th for Strommel and a 3rd. Will this go through? It does. That's the second move of the episode. Second player we are saying goodbye to. All right, this next trade is a bit of a doozy, and it's a bit controversial, but I think it's the best option we've got. It'll be Noah Dobson, who we just acquired at the trade deadline, and Daniil Gushchin, who I believe we just got this season, plus a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick, and Emil Vini, who we just don't have space for defenseman Artem Levzhinov and forward star Logan Cooley. Now, Levzhinov is an 85 overall top 4 defender. He is only 22 years old. He had a -23, but he was on a bad Arizona Coyotes team, and his individual attributes look really good. They have him already signed to an extension at 5 years, $4.85 million, so it might be hard to pry him away. But Logan Cooley has struggled with Arizona. He is a 90 overall top, so 2nd line forward. He has 98 offensive awareness, great speed, great defensive category, great physical category. If we can get this trade to go through, that will be game-changing for us. I just don't know if we'll be able to get Cooley. Let's see. Dobson, Gushchin, Vini, a 2nd and a 3rd for Levzhinov and Cooley. Will this go through? It does not. I need to add a little more. And as I said, we're in win now mode. I've added my 1st round pick 2 years from now, pretty much 2 years from now, from the 2031 NHL entry draft, plus our 2nd round pick. Will this go through? It's sweetened it just a touch. Okay. All right, 2 draft picks have been made in the time that I've tried to make this trade. It's Dobson, Gushchin, the 2031 1st round pick, the 2032 1st round pick, and Olivier Rodrigue now for Artem Levzhinov and Logan Cooley. Will this go through? It does. Holy crap, what a big addition. Now, I don't mind giving up the 1st round picks, especially the 2032 one, because I don't think we'll be still doing this franchise mode series at that point in time. I'm leveraging it on behalf of the future general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. But I know we moved on from Noah Dobson, and I know we moved on from Olivier Rodrigue when he didn't really have a lot of time with the Montreal Canadiens. We didn't really even give him a shot, especially once we got Dostal and with the progression of Dag and Vini. But I think we just made a massive trade to build this team into an absolute barn burner of a team for next season. So far in this year's NHL entry draft, we've moved on from Jan Mysak, Trent Frederick, Tristan Luneau, Noah Dobson, Olivier Rodrigue, and Daniil Gushchin, plus a 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 2 firsts in the future for Jan Kuznetsov, Jacob Pelletier, William Stromgren, Charlie Strommel, a 3rd round pick, Artem Levzhinov, and Logan Cooley. Does that not sound like an elite set of additions to this team? I mean, look at our forward core. Aside from Sean Farrell, who still doesn't have a contract for next season, everyone here is signed for next season. Look at that. 94 Pettersson, 92 Slavkovsky, 91 Caulfield, 90 Cooley, 90 Suzuki. Damn, he dropped. Okay, but 90 Suzuki. 82 for St. Louis, but 86 for Shelley, 81 for Ellison, 86 for Doc, 86 for Musty. We have an insane top 6, plus depth options that are hopefully going to be dirt cheap for us. Guys, we have added big time for this team in the forward core. And defensively, yes, we subtracted Dobson, but now we have Hudson, Reinbacher, Levchinov, Rabbit, Hensler, Gulli, Barron, Kuznetsov, Modano, who's still 21, unsigned, and he looks like he's going to be a star for us. I don't know if we have to make any more trades. I had one more in mind that I wanted to make, but I don't think we need to make one. I want to keep Hudson. There's no way Hudson's going anywhere. I want to keep Reinbacher. I was contemplating move on from Caden Gulli because of his massive $6.7 or $6.5 million contract. But honestly, I don't really want to move on from any more key pieces of the original Montreal Canadiens roster. Gulli was a true red, white, and blue defender for this team. He's about to turn 27. He's one of the only last veterans on this team. I want to keep hanging on to him. Now, if by the start of the season I change my mind, we might move on from him. Again, you guys let me know in the comments down below if you want to see anybody out the door. If you think, as a true Montreal Canadiens fan, that we are ready to let go of some players, you let me know the names and they will be gone. But I am really happy with the additions we've made so far to this team. And look at this. We still have over 7 picks in this draft. A second, a third, a third, a third, a third, a third, and a fourth, and a seventh. We have a lot of draft picks still to make. I could still move these picks out to try and acquire more depth, but I don't know what else I'd acquire. This team is looking great. This team is looking so stacked. We have Dag, Dostal, and Vini now with Primo, and yes, we're going to be signing like Gaspar Lacroix, no doubt. I still might move on from Emile Vini, but I don't know what else to do. I mean, Dostal is now dropped. He's not happy with some of the trades we've made, but I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for this team. All right, I was searching the market to see what I could get for 2 of our third-round picks because we have so many of them, and I don't know what's going to be available in the thirds. And Tiny Hoffman, I think it is. I always try to guess the first name because I've played EA Sports NHL for so long. I bet you it's Tiny Hoffman. It's Tristan Hoffman. I was wrong. Tristan Hoffman, 64 overall, medium elite goaltending prospect, 20 years old already, drafted in the 3rd round by the LA Kings, so maybe there'll be some good options in the 3rd round this year, but we're just going to make this trade. I'm going to see if I can safety net it, maybe grab some picks for next year's draft, because we are a little barren in the future cupboards. We still have next year's first round pick, so at trade deadline acquisitions we can make. But let's see, a 3rd this year, the 78th, and the 94th overall in this year's draft for Hoffman and a 6. Does this go through? It does not. So let's go straight up. 78th and the 94th for Tristan Hoffman from the LA Kings. It does go through, so we do add to our goaltending cupboard just because I want to have some draft capital and I want to have some trade capital, and that is good trade capital. Aside from that, I have thought about it and I just want to make the picks that we have left. I don't want to move on from anybody else until maybe free agency, but guys, this looks good. And we're not done yet. We're going to go through the draft and then we're going to go through the re-sign phase, and I'll end this video with free agency day 1. So jumping to our first pick in the draft, it is the 56th overall pick, and we will go back and we'll take a look at the top 5. Now, it was Quinton Vandermeer, I believe it was, at first overall. Yeah, Quinton Vandermeer, first overall, left winger, 83 overall. He's a power forward, and as we saw earlier, he looks pretty decent. It was Mika Luutinen, 2nd overall to the San Jose Sharks, and yeah, he looks pretty decent too. A hell of a shot, pretty speedy, decent pick. 3rd overall, Marcus Gunderson. He is a short left wing, right winger. Okay, not short because I'm the same height, but he's got a great shot, good offensive awareness, and great skating right off the bat. That might have been the best pick so far out of the top 3. I think I think Columbus should have gone for Gunderson. 4th overall, it was Elliot Pettini. Yeah, he looks decent. I mean, he's got a hell of a shot. He's listed as a sniper, and he's got one hell of a clapper. So let's see what he can do with the Coyotes. Replacing Logan Cooley for sure. And then rounding out that top 5, Leon Kirka with the Vegas Golden Knights, and he's a power forward. He's got a hell of a shot. Holy crap, can he slap bombs. Good skating as well. Not a bad pick at 5th overall. And then not too much else. I mean, Fitz is a pretty good pick. Habibulin is decent. Blomstrand was decent. Bishop, yeah, there's some pretty good picks, but you can see how it's starting to drop off a bit. Yeah, sorry for the sniffle there. It already drops the medium 9s toward the 26th pick. And yeah, not too much after that. I mean, actually, I just skimmed over Carolina getting a 77 top 4 at 30th overall. So that's a good pick there. In the 2nd round,
Still some decent players available. I mean, Ennis was a good pick for the Islanders, a low elite Saprikin to the Predators, a low elite Robbins to the Flyers, low elite Melnick to the Canucks. So maybe getting some second round picks would have been good for us, but we're not looking long haul. We're looking right now. Gagnon, medium elite goalie to the Carolina Hurricanes. Some good picks here. We're at 56. We have a minute left on the clock. We can always call a timeout, but I want to see what's available. I'm not taking any low top sixes. I want to either take players that can jump in right now or players that can be trade bait in the future. And right now, Pete Lyon looks pretty damn good. I mean, not actually. He's got C's, D's, and E's across the board, and he's 5 years out, but he is a confirmed medium elite at 105th overall. I could wait, but he is the best player available to me right now. So we are going to be picking Pete Lyon from NA West to come and join the Montreal Canadiens, and he is a 48 overall medium elite center. So our scouts did find us a bit of a gem there. Jumping to the second pick for us, the 81st overall pick in this draft. I'm not going to go back and say every good player that was gone in between our two picks because that would take forever. I mean, there was another good goalie, but that's about it. Let's see what's available for us here at this pick. And Sylvain Fiset looks like the pick. 5 years out, it's almost the exact same ratings as Pete Lyon. He could be another medium elite, and I'm willing to take a gamble because he's either a medium elite or he could probably be a medium top six. Let's see. Sylvain Fiset from the Val-d'Or Foreurs. I don't know how to say that. Let me know in the comments. I butcher things so much in this, but Sylvain Fiset will be our pick here. It glitched out for a second. Sylvain Fiset, medium elite, 50 overall center sniper. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're actually doing fairly well. Thank you, garbage truck outside. That's really nice. But we're doing fairly well in this draft, even though we haven't even had a like top 60 pick. Well, I guess we did 56 overall. You know what I mean? Top 55 pick. We didn't have one, but we still did pretty good. Jumping to the 89th pick now. All right, at 89th, you have players like Gene Maloney, who probably going to be a low top six. He might be a low elite, but I'm probably betting he's safely a low top six. High backups, probably a high fringe. In Mironov, Bowl is probably he's 5 years out. He's 19 already. 101st. You know what? I got a feeling about Bowl. Here. James Bowl, he could be good. Mikko Lajinen, again, 19. He could be good, but he's got really no accuracy in his scouting, so he might be an outlier. Toby McIntyre. I know it seems weird, but this might be a good draft. This might be a good draft for getting like good draft ability. Let's just see, sort by potential. Let's see if there's any low elites. There's no confirmed low elites. Harold Sawchuk is probably going to be a low elite though, so we'll wait to grab him with our last pick. But back to the Central Scouting ranking. You know what? I feel comfortable taking that pick in Bowl. I feel comfortable. I mean, McIntyre might be good too. But we're going to take James Bowl here from the Everett Silvertips. He's a medium top 60. Okay, so that's still not bad. He's not like a bottom or a 7th defender. That's not bad at all. Let's jump to our next pick, which is the 96th pick, and I believe the last pick of the 3rd round. Yeah. Black was a good medium elite goaltender. And then Omark was a medium elite defender, so we probably should have taken a bit more of a look, but that does bode well for us. I think there's another medium elite player here. It might be Calvin Smithson. He looks pretty decent. It might be Corbin still or McIntyre. I don't think it's Leonov. I think he's probably going to be a medium top 9. Lajinen could be good. All right, I've seen him pop up a few times. Toby McIntyre, left wing power forward from Vasan Sport of the Liga. He's 18. He is dog poor skills, and he's projected 5 years out, but I think there's another medium elite in the midst here. I bet you it's Smithson or Lajinen, but I'm going to go with McIntyre here. Left wing power forward, Toby McIntyre, and he is a medium top 9, as we can see on the players drafted board. So that's unfortunate. We're going to see here if any good players do go. I think there's one medium elite left. I really think there is, but I could be wrong. Mironov was a high backup. Medium elite and Smithson. Oh, damn. Okay, so he was the pick to make. 58 overall, so he's actually he would have been one of the better ones. I had a feeling about it. No, I don't know if we should trade up again. To hell with it. I'm going to trade up. We're going to throw in a 7th next year or the year after to balance this out. A 4th and a 6th for a 4th and a 7th. Does this go through? Of course it does, because that's really nothing. Let's make our pick here. And I really think Lajinen could be something. I'm probably wrong, but we're going to pick Mika Lajinen from Tampere Temp here of the Liga.
and he's a medium top 6 defender. So Smithson was that last oh, Corbin, damn it. Oh, and he's good. He's a 67. Okay. Fizet and Lyon are still good picks. We could have had Corbin and Smithson as well. That would have been 4 medium elite players for this team. That's really unfortunate. And then Nikolin. Oh, he's a 70. Oh my gosh, he's a 70 overall. Oh, there were so many medium elites in this draft. There were so many. If there's another one here with San Jose, I'm going to be upset. There isn't. Okay. It looks like the pain and the suffering has stopped. We could have had some really good picks here, but we didn't get them, unfortunately. I mean, I wish I could have had Nikulin. He's a 70 overall medium elite. Oh, he could jump up soon. He's already got great defensive skills and a pretty good physical category. That's unfortunate. Even Corbin is pretty good looking. He's 6'6" defender. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. But again, we're not building for the future. We're building for the now. That just would have helped us get trade assets. But we have a pretty stacked team. So let's jump to our next pick. It's 216th. We're gonna make our final pick in this year's draft. And there was a medium elite goalie who went in the 7th round. Holy crap! This draft was stupidly stacked. This draft was stupidly stacked. Again, sorry for the sniffle. I'm cold. I have a cold. I'm not cold, but I have a cold. I'm actually really warm instead. I'm sweating. Let's make our final pick of this draft, and then we will jump in to the final things we have to do. And right away, I said earlier that we'd wait till later to grab him. We are going to be picking Harold Sawchuk. I know Tiny Langenbrunner's right here. He could be good. We're going to pick Harold Sawchuk. And there we go, a low elite 49 overall power forward. Not the greatest. I want to make sure that that other guy wasn't very good. Oh, please tell me he wasn't very good. Langenbrunner was a bottom 6. Okay, so I didn't get screwed this time. We got 2 medium elite players, 1 low elite player, and then some medium 6s and medium 9s. That's not bad. That's not bad. I wish we could have got those other medium elites. Honestly, I think you guys would have thought I was cheating if I got every medium elite player. So at least we got 2 of them. That's pretty good. Let's end this draft here. The 2028 draft comes to a close with some big additions, both through draft picks and through trades. Lyon, Fizet, Levshinov, Cooley, Strommel, Kuznetsov, Paletti, and Stromgren have all been added to the Montreal Canadiens roster and reserves. Honestly, this team looks great. Let's jump into the re-sign phase. Now, we did offer some contracts out before we jumped in. We did offer them, I believe, to Ryan Johnson and one other player. I can't remember the other player. But let's see if we do get some good news here. We lose some scouts. That's fine. Tim Almgren was one of the players that got offered a contract. Ryan Johnson does accept, I believe it was like 1 year, 1.25 or 1.5 million. That's amazing. And Tim Almgren, he accepts as well. He's always wanted to play with a top-ranked organization. That's what we are. That's what we are. And look at that. Already this team is looking good, but we don't have a lot of cap space. In fact, we have $2.875 million in cap space to sign all of these players. Well, not all of them. We're going to let go of some of it. We're going to let go a fair bit. We're going to, right off the bat, we're going to wait, actually, to qualify for L. We're going to sign Tiny Modano, or Theo Modano. Why do I keep saying everybody that starts with the T is Tiny? My gosh, I'm just thinking about tiny things today. That's all. That sounded bad. All right, Theo Modano is getting his ELC right off the bat. Same with Mason St. Louis. He is getting his ELC. And then another same to unsigned center Christopher Ellison. He is getting his ELC as well. Now back to expiring contracts. Charlie Strommel, what are you looking for? Oh my lord. Yeah, we'll give you that. We'll give you $3,000 more than you're looking for. 2 years, $875,000. I could not be happier about that. Andrew Kopp will be released. To the left wingers, Pharrell, again, we're gonna have to wait. Stromgren might be asking for a little more. 1.8 million. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Kanopka, we're gonna let you go. Right wingers, Legare is gonna go, and Gallagher is gonna stay if he's looking for little. He's looking for league min, so we're gonna give him 1 year league min. That's fine. Defensively, Jan Kuznetsov's going to be looking for a bit. Yeah, 2.875. He's looking for our entirety of what we're offering, so that's not really good. Justin Barron needs a new contract. He's looking for that as well. Actually, that's just all we can offer them, so we're not going to be giving them that. I don't even think we can qualify them without losing some money. Gaspar Lacroix, though, he's getting a contract. 3 years, 800,000. You'll take 825,000. You'll take that. You'll take. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody here. No, it does not look like I am missing anybody here. So now it's time to reserve some players. So we're going to qualify Kuznetsov at 2.575. Ooh, that's dangerous. We're going to qualify him, though. 2.575. That's fine. Justin Barron, 1.75. If we can get him, that'd be great.
Strommel, we already offered a contract to. Sean Farrell, we're going to qualify you as 2.5 million. I don't think you're going to take that. And then Stromgren, we're going to, did I say Strommel? Farrell, we're going to qualify you, and Stromgren, we're going to qualify you. So I think that's everyone dealt with in one swell swoop. One swell swoop. I meant to say one swift move, and then I went to say one fell swoop, and I went ahead and said one swell swoop. So that's going to stay with this. I'm not cutting that one out. But here we go. Let's go through the first day of the re-sign phase and see who we get locked up. So Gallagher doesn't want to return. He wants to be on a team without so many players competing at his position. I understand. You're never going to play in the NHL again for the Montreal Canadiens. So that's just how it is. Gaspard Lacroix does take that lowball offer. So hopefully we have a superstar goalie in the making here, because he just gets shutout after shutout with the Halifax Mooseheads. Christopher Ellison accepts his ELC, and I'm excited to see what he can do for us. Mason St. Louis accepts his ELC. Again, I'm really excited for his future. Charlie Strommel accepts that 2-year deal, so amazing acquisition there. I believe that was in the Tristan. Yeah, that was in the Tristan Leno trades. That's great. Theo Modano accepts his ELC, and that's a lot of big signings right there. We still have $2.6 million in cap space now to sign these remaining 5 players. Gallagher, or you're going to go. So it's remaining 4 players. But guys, I'm excited about this. I don't think there's anything I can really do right now unless I go adamant that I want to sign Kuznetsov. I mean, I'm not sure. Stromgren, I'm going to resign. I'm going to try to get you. I'm going to keep you at RFA status. 1 year, 1.5 million. If you accept that, that'll be great. We'll quickly sim to see if he does. He's not willing to accept that contract. It's a little too low. We'll give him 1 year at 1.675. I think that'll be a good mid ground. And he does accept that. And we still have around 1.925 left over in cap space. And sadly, that's not enough to get any of these big 3 signs. So unfortunately, it does look like, unless we move out from a Caden Gooley or someone the like, as you know, someone who's over $5-6 million in cap, we're not going to be adding Farrell, Kuznetsov, and Barron. Maybe Kuznetsov, I really want to bring him back, and maybe Barron, if we can free up a little more cap space. But honestly, unless we're moving on from Slavkovsky, which is never happening, or Caulfield, which is never happening, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. If we hadn't acquired Cooley, then maybe we could have made it work with that extra $4.82 million. But I mean, it's 90 overall, Logan Cooley. I know we have him for 1 year, and we might have to look at moving on from him at the end of the year. But guys, we still have a stacked team here. You guys let me know in the comments what we should do with players like Sean Farrell, Justin Barron, and Jan Kuznetsov. I do want to bring back Jan Kuznetsov still. I want to give him a shot with the Montreal Canadiens. If you think we should move on from some big names, maybe like a Cooley, or even, I don't know anyone else. It's Gooley, or it's like Caulfield or Suzuki, and neither of those guys got to go anywhere. I don't want to move on from Pedersen at 13.5, but no, there's not even any buts. This guy's gotten like, what, 212 points in his first 2 seasons with the team? He's got 209 points in 163 games with the Montreal Canadiens. No, he's not going anywhere. Sorry, I'm not doing that. But that is going to wrap it up for this episode. I don't know if it was as much of a marathon as I said it would be. I kind of went through it rapidly quick. I mean, we could always jump to free agency and see what's available. And you know what? That's what we will do. We'll jump to free agency, see what's available, and we'll see what our pending free agents for next year's offseason are asking for. And that will be it. Yes, we lost some scouts. I'll deal with that in between videos. We didn't lose any big players, though. That's the good thing. Let's see what players are asking for, though. So it's Slavkovsky, Cooley, and Hudson needing contracts, and already I just have this pit in my stomach that's gonna hurt. Slavkovsky's not asking for as much as I thought he would, though. 3 years at $7.375 million is not too bad, and I think we could work that, especially if we get it down to $6.5 million. That could be a steal. We have $24.625 to deal with, so hell, there's even the option to hold on to Farrell and see if we can get him signed to next year. Logan Cooley, though, what are you looking for? $6.225. That's not bad as well. I mean, it's short-term contracts, so I'm not a big fan of that, but even that, him and Slavkovsky come in around $11 million, giving us around $13 million left to get Hudson done. And Hudson, he's going to ask for a lot. Holy crap, $14.425 million on a 2-year deal. So we're going to have to play the waiting game with Hudson. We're just going to have to. There's no other option. Logan Hensler, let's see what you're asking for. 5.25. Yeah, it's gonna start getting tighter next year. Pelletier doesn't want to come back, but that's fine. Emil Vini, he's gonna be asking for nothing at all. That's fine by me. I got no problem with that. And then let's take a look, now that we've seen what our team is asking for next season, let's see what the rest of the league is asking for this coming season. So there's some big names on the board, but not like stars. I mean, Jacky has found himself back in free agency, and yes, you can bet your ass that I am tempted to give him a contract if I had the cap space. I mean, he's asking for 5.425 million. We only have 1.9 million. It's not going to work. But I do miss Jacky. But other names are like Dylan Strome, Brett Pesce, Tom Willander, who looks decent, but he's a restricted free agency member of the restricted free agency. You know what I mean? I'm stumbling and stuttering. Former Hab Arturi Lekin, not looking for too much. That's not too bad. Yeah, there's some decent players here, but nothing that I'm like, oh, we absolutely have to sign. Not Kuznetsov, Jonathan Marchessault. He had 62 points last season with the Vegas Golden Knights again, so he's definitely an option, especially with how cheap he is. But not really, because that's still almost like a full $1.3 million over what we have. So I don't think we're going to be players really in any big assets at free agency. Prospect wise, for forwards, there's Riley Kidney, former Montreal Canadian prospect, so we will give him a contract. Emil Heineman, don't think we can afford him at 2.7 million, but I mean, there's options if we make some trades. You guys just let me know. I mean, if Murat Haznitynov looks good, we're going to give him a contract as well. And then Oscar Lawson, he looks good. We're going to give some like depth contracts out. We don't have a lot of roster space, but I will make some moves between videos just to free up space, just moving out players that we don't really need. But you guys let me know what you want to see happen with the Montreal Canadiens team. We'll finish this off by looking at the goalies, and there's some good ones. I mean, Kosa and Hrabel are here. I'm not really interested in a goalie though right now. Some decent ones, but I'm not making some big moves right now. That's going to wrap it up for this one. That is for sure. I think we've made some big trades to rebuild this Montreal Canadiens team on the fly. I don't really want to say rebuild. We've retooled them. We've made up for the lack of firepower that we really had toward the end of the season there. We now have, again, big additions like Pelletier, Stromgren, Strommel, Levzhinov, Cooley, all locked up for next season. It's just the new addition in Kuznetsov that didn't get a contract for next season. Yes, we moved on from big names like Mizak and Leno and Dobson and Rodrigue and Gushchin, but they weren't going to fit anyways. This team is ready, okay? Think about it this way. It's Shelley, Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Pedersen, and Cooley now possibly. Or Slavkovsky, Pedersen, and Mason St. Louis, and then Musty, Cooley, and Doc, because Cooley's listed as second liner. I can get away with playing him on that third line. And that fourth line, we have so many depth options, it's scary. We could play so many different fourth line options. Defensively, Hudson, Reinbacher. Now we could do like Ezra Rabbit and Artem Levzhinov, and then Gouli and Hensler on that third pair, or even do Gouli and Levzhinov on that second pair, and Rabbit and Hensler on the third pair. We have so many freaking options, and obviously we know that our net's locked up with Dostal and Dag. So this Montreal Canadiens team is ready. You guys just let me know in the comments down below. Please let me know what you want to see happen, who you want to see go, who you want to see stay. I think you guys would agree that Gouli should stay with the team, but at 85, making 66.5 million, it's a little dicey at this point. So I would understand if you guys think maybe it's time to move on from him, especially if we can get Pharrell back with the team. And then, oh my god, the team would be scary if we had Pharrell and Cooley in the lineup. That would be the scariest top 9 of all time. That might actually push Doc to the fourth line. But that's going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. If you really like it, then why not consider subscribing? You can always just do it on a trial basis, subscribe for 30 days. If you don't really like it after 30 days, you can cancel free of charge. I mean, it's free to subscribe anyways. It's free to stay subscribed anyways. You guys have been amazing. Can't thank you guys enough for your support. I'm sorry that there haven't been videos this week. I was just deathly ill. I'm going to try to put out as many videos over this weekend as possible to make up for the lack of content, because I don't know about you guys, but it's going into March break here in Canada, and if you guys have nothing to do, I want to make sure that you guys have some content to watch at least. So thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been a blast, and I will see you guys as we take this team through free agency and into the 2028-2029 NHL season in the next video. Thank you guys.